open about what actually you can experience on a thru hike, what it's like to do a thru hike, how it feels to do a thru hike, and it's fucking amazing. Like, seriously, I'm so fucking amped up from it. As I said, I'm swearing. This is going to be a really unusual video. It might contain the odd swear word. I apologise for that, but there's a lot of words that cannot express what a thru hike means to a person. You know, as myself, you know, a person who wants to do more thru hikes, it truly does awaken your life. And this video is also going to be about how it might change yours, so stick around.
Kia ora folks, Ora Folks, your local Bushman here.
Kia ora folks, Ora Folks, your local Bushman here, and today I would like to talk to you guys about is how thru hiking deepened, evolved, and changed and strengthened my life, and how it may do the same on your own thru hike. So for all our subscribers and regulars who may not know, I, Ras Does Bushcraft, thru hiked the Araroa Trail starting 25th October and I finished early February. My plans this year is to do sections of the Araroa Trail again. In regards to the South Island, now I did not take much photos, more on that later. TA again, maybe every 2 years, maybe every 3 years. We'll see what happens. Might be a thing for me to do, but I do. I love the challenges of not just thru hiking itself, but it was everything about the thru hike, you know, and discovering Aotearoa, New Zealand. It's a fabulous country. You know, even as a countryman myself, I never explored much of New Zealand. So it really awoken my sense of appreciation of the country. The people, the sights, the hikahanga, lots of hikahanga in the bush. Now you may ask, Russ, how will thru hiking change my life? How would it change your own? I'm going to try to explain it in words to the best of my ability of how thru hiking can change your life. A lot of thru hikers don't realise this, but yeah, we're going to talk about this in a second too, about post-trail depression. It really does happen. It's very depressing, very sad sack vibes, very negative vibes, but it does happen. What I mean is, there's a lot of ways that a thru hike will change your life, and you might not know it. You know, there's going to be times and places where you're going to feel the most out of touch emotions for yourself. I mean, I certainly did. I felt emotions I never felt before since I was 17, and I'm 29 this year, so it's been a long time out of touch with myself, and I think that's the beauty of a thru hike. A thru hike will change and deepen your life in ways you may never know. It's very hard for me to discuss in words. I'm not really an emotional person. I'm just a doer. I like doing action, don't really like to express emotion. It's just who I am. I like to laugh a lot. But... Okay, emotional awakening. Whilst walking through the bush along the many sections of the Araroa Trail, you know, I'll be sweating hard like a pig, doing my 40k day or whatever. And, you know, sometimes I would have a tear or two just come down from my eye. Now, put a stop to you guys here, is I've never had a bad day on the trail. I never ever had a bad day on the trail. I teared up because I was sad. I didn't tear up because I was sad. I teared up because I felt the true expression of joy, you know. For me, as you folks might not know, you know, I'm a bushman, I'm a bushcraft, I love the bush. Hence why I got my trail name Bushman, more on that later. But the sense of joy itself, what it means to you, and that expression of joy, that's what led me to tears. Now, I had an emotional moment every 100 Ks, probably because of the bush, or the sights, or the sounds. It truly left me beyond words. You know, there was some times I was kicking with my other hiker buddies, and you know, I was just out of words. I was shocked. I was breathless, you know, because to me, the bush is it's my wet dream. It's the ultimate dream for me. You know, the bush. I love the bush. You know, I grew up around the bush. The bush is, well, it's my second home, so I feel comfortable. So there was times when I was crying, you know, shedding tears, covered in filth, sweating hard, and I would say to myself, fucking oats, Ras, you haven't cried like this in years. To me, it wasn't I was depressed or anything like that. It was the sense of joy. It was a true sense of joy that thru hike brought to me, particularly the bush. There is a true sense of emotional awakening that can and probably will happen to you on a thru hike, and it has nothing to do with spirituality or cultural or anything like that. To me, it was a on a human level, being in that place, in that moment, that's what brought on the tears. That's what brought on true joy. And I still reminisce those times that I did have those true joy moments. It was fucking amazing. It's the best moments you ever had. So yeah, folks, emotional awakening. It can happen. It probably will happen on your through hike. Just get used to it. You might shed the odd tear. You might have expressions of different types of moments, like maybe happiness, maybe joy. As I said, there's ways a through hike will emotionally awaken what's inside of you, and you may not realize that yourself. So I know a bit fluffy shit, unlike my usual channel content, which is bushcraft and stuff like that, but I thought I'd put it on there. Spiritually recharged. Now, if you folks may or may not know, I'm a traditional Nyabingi Rastafarian. So what is a traditional Nyabingi Rastafarian? Traditional Nyabingi Rastafarian is like the hardest of hardcore Rastafarians you can get, period. So, as you folks may or may not know, I don't usually swear. I try not to because, I'm a gentleman. I do have a proper vocabulary and know how to express it properly. I eat Ital is the original vegetarian diet, okay? Everybody who has a vegetarian diet can basically thank Rastafari Ital diet for that. I am a Rastafarian strictly only to myself. On the trail, I never pushed my Rastafari agenda or who I was. I told other hikers, hey bro, I don't drink, and they will ask why. I'll tell them because I'm Rastafarian. I don't do that. And that didn't stop me from one bit of going to the pub and that, even though, particularly with the Rastafari mansion, as I and we like to call them, I did go to the pubs mainly just to hang out with other hikers, to be friendly. It's that sense of community, and I'm going to talk about that shortly, that led me there. And then, as I said, Nyabingi Rastafari people in particular don't try to push their liberty, the way of life. We don't call it a religion, we call it a liberty, a way of life. We don't try to push our way of life, who we are, what we believe and have knowledge of, because that's what Rastafari is for us. We don't believe we have knowledge of as well. So there's that. So I'm being a bit more explanative about Rastafari, what it is, okay? Particularly the Nyabingi. Nyabingi is not really talked about here on YouTube or the internet period, particularly from a young fellow who's the Nyabingi Rastafarian, as you can tell. Always had my regalia on me. There is a time and space for that on this channel. I never talked about Rastafari because, as I said, I don't try to push who I am. I created this channel, Ras Does Bushcraft, for bushcraft, for my passion for the outdoors. This channel was never intended to push Rastafari, so there's always a time and place for that. This time and place is for bushcraft and through hiking and gear reviews and everything and bits and bobs in between about the outdoor recreational world, and my appreciation and wanting to get in contact with like-minded people in the community in the bushcraft through hiking world. That's why I created this channel. Now on to how I became spiritually recharged. This is a bit of a trail moment here. I think it was day 7. It was day 7. I was with 2 other hikers. I'm going to talk about them in a second. I'll show you some pictures of them. We had a long day that day. It was a fucking long day. We started at 8 o'clock, and in the morning, we were based at Raitia. I'll pop up a video somewhere here. We're based in Raitia, and it started here night time, and it was dark, and I was slinging through that mud, because Raitia, if you folks don't know, Raitia, tons of mud. Get used to it. It's just part of the initiation, I like to call it. Well, anyway, Raitia, I was slinging through Raitia, and it was dark. We had our headlamps full ball on, and there was a moment I had where I felt this sense of spiritual surge through my legs, like I was empowered, and that was telling me, I don't know if it was my God, I don't know if it was my ancestors, but it was telling me that I needed to make a move on and I needed to do it quick. But it felt so good. It was a positive spiritual energy. It was sensational. It empowered me to just push on through, and we were all buggered. We were absolutely fucking exhausted. We stopped for so many breaks. We kept thinking we were out of that bush section, but we kept going and going, and then once that pasture hit, boom, freshly top up the water, and then we made it to camp late that night. We didn't make it till camp till I think it was 11 at night. Then we cooked dinner, then we set up, then we went to sleep about midnight. So it was a fucking long day. 14 and a half hours. Longest day I've had so far on the TA. Maybe this year or the next season I do it. Might be a bit longer, but we'll see what happens. So the night of day 10, this is 3 days after. Okay, 3 days after the Raitea Forest. As I said, Raitea Forest is breathtaking, amazing, the mud, but it was a true moment I had. I don't know if it was around the Cody, but I'm going to tell you briefly the story about it. Okay, so how I felt spiritually recharged on day 10, or the night of day 10 was, you know, we got to Puketi Forest. I'll put up a picture of somewhere around here of Puketi Forest. We set up for the night, we chilled by the campfire, there were some normal campers there. We were, you know, having a yarn, yakking away, and had a feed. It was late at night. While the rest of the boys were sleeping, I woke up and I had to run to the loo. Now the loo we camp from is a little bit of a walk. It's about 150 meters, so, you know, bare feet and all. I was just running through, done my business, came back, and when I came back, I felt this like sensation through my head, this spiritual energy through my head, and it felt like to me it was my ancestors calling, you know, through the bush, letting me know that I was doing well, but I had a long way to go. And that's how I felt spiritually recharged on day 10. There are seriously, folks, I'm not kidding you, over 10 more times on the North Island alone that I had a spiritually recharged moment. And it doesn't matter if you have a sense of spirituality, or if you're spiritual, or you're agnostic, or you're atheist, or whatever, you're going to feel a sense of some sort of spirituality on the trail, because the trail provides that. It guides you into it. And you know, fucking hell, I'm lost for words. It's really hard to explain it, but a couple of the other thru hikers I've been keeping in touch with post-trail have said the same thing. They were lost for words because they're not spiritual people at all. And they felt this great sense of spiritual surge through their body, and they're like, you know, fucking hell, what is it? So, spiritual recharge, folks, it can and probably will happen to you on the thru hike. Now, this is a bit of a weird one. Restoration of faith in humanity. Seems pretty grim, me. Now this seems a bit weird, likened on to say that I had lost my faith in humanity. This is not what I'm saying, but what I am saying is it restored my faith in humanity based on the human-to-human level. It sounds a bit intellectually complex for this channel, but what I mean by this is it's the deeds and kindness of people. It's the sensing what their heart and intentions are doing towards other people. It's the kindness of the other people. It's people in general. That's what restored my faith in humanity. There, you know, I may disagree with everyone or may agree with certain people, but in the end, when it comes down to it, you know, you're that hiker along that road. You know, you're walking. Let's say you're doing a 40k road section on the Araroa Trail, because that does happen. It restores your faith because you see the people coming by and like, oh, hey bro, do you want to ride, or do you want this, or do you want that? Restoration of faith in humanity meant to me that it restored my faith in people that were around me, that were offering this and that. And I didn't always take the offers. It was very nice of them to do so. But it's, as I said, that giving, that generosity, that kindness from humanity, from complete strangers. It was, to me, that's the pinnacle essence of restoration of faith in humanity, and that may happen to you as well. So now this is a good one, folks. Bondships or hiker family. A very powerful connection to other thru hikers, long trampers on a thru hike that develops on a really deep level. Very complex title for this one. Now this I can elaborate on immensely and intensely. There are seriously the greatest sense of family you'll ever have. Thru hiker family. It's fucking fabulous. It's so wonderful. You know, I have created some truly romantic moments with a lot of people. Let's take, for instance, one of my trail bros. We stuck for pretty much most, well, say under halfway of the Araroa Trail together, and his name is Forrest. but more on forest in another video. This here, folks, is a picture of RDB and a fellow Kiwi train for trash by the name of River. How he got his trail name is a very interesting story. I'm going to be very brief about this. Okay, so he got the name River because he always used to, he always used to pee a lot. He used to piss a lot, all the time. So that's how he got his trail name River. I think it was day 5 or day 7. Well, anyway, he said 2 words, I think it was day 5 or day 7 also, that meant the world to me, and it truly changed my thoughts on negativity in general. And those 2 words are positive vibes. Super simple. Super simple. Now, it may mean nothing to you, but there would be times when I'll be very, I wouldn't say down. As I said, I've never had a bad moment, never had a bad day on the trail. Never. A few other hikers I met on the trail did have quite a few bad moments, and there's moments I'm probably not going to discuss on this channel, mainly, and I'll be honest with you, to protect them, okay? I don't want to jeopardize their emotional state or anything like that, or the bromance we have. There would be times I'll be in a bad situation, I might have cut myself or whatever. I would sit there and think to myself, positive vibes, move forward. Take the situation, resolve it as soon as possible, and move forward. So if I didn't get something in that day, or I didn't get the Ks I wanted to do, or whatever, I'll just think, positive vibes, fuck it, there's no point being negative about it. By being negative, you don't resolve the problem. So my two words of wisdom I can give to you guys, planning to do a through hike, is positive vibes, positive vibes, positive vibes. Any sort of negativity, throw it out. You don't need it. Don't need it at all. You might need to throw some gear out or whatever, but... Now Forrest was a fellow who hailed from England, okay? He hailed from an area in Warwickshire. I'm not going to mention exactly where it is because it's funny, and as I said, I want to protect his name, but... Anyway, we met day 1. Oh no, sorry, day 0. Day 0. The day before we started. Strong sense of sibling attachment of people you're going to meet on the trail. And as I've stated, there is, to me, how I figured it out was, the trail simply provides this arterial connection that weaves people together, regardless of who you are, where you come from, your sexuality, your spirituality, all of the what have yous in the world. There is a deep emotional connection you're going to have with other thru hikers on the trail you're not going to expect, and you're not going to even notice. There might be other hikers you might mention to the other hiker family, oh, have you seen blah blah, or have you seen so and so? Oh no, they 3 days ahead. There's moments you're going to have, some awesome moments, some awesome times, some awesome memories with a lot of awesome folks, and there are going to be people from all types of walks of life you would have never connected in your ordinary life. There's, seriously folks, it's a brotherly connection that the trail provides, and there will be times where I'll meet other hiker trash, and if they're having a bad day, I'll try to cheer them up, and that's what brotherly connection, that bondship of other hikers is like. It's a strong connection that really can't be described and really can't be broken. So let's say, for example, there was another hiker that had run out of money, or he didn't have any change. Boom, I'd be there. That to me is hiker family. That to me is the bondship that you create with other hikers on the thru hike. And as I've said, it's an emotional connection, an arterial connection the trail simply provides. We always had a saying on the trail provides. The trail simply does provide. The trail is, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world during a thru hike. It's fucking amazing. So, and to me, this bondship goes deeper on any other level. Let's say in our ordinary lives, post-trail, if any of those fellas had any problems they wanted to talk to me about, they've got my number, they know who they are. Your brother Bushman, I'll sort you out. That to me is the connection you're going to have with other hikers on the trail. I connected with a lot of people, and I didn't have a lot of people in my hiker family, but I connected with a lot of people, and I'd done that because at the end of the day, we are all the same people, we're all hiker trash, we're all hikers, At the end of the day, to me, if we didn't have each other's family, we were the family. And that's what, to me, the bondships of through hiker trash and hiker family in general is. In the Bondships of a Thru Hiker family that truly you're going to learn to appreciate and truly you can expect. Now, you may not connect with everyone, you may only connect with one person in particular, but you're going to have this true sense of Bondships and deeper level. As I said, very hard to explain. Really great people. You're going to meet some awesome people. Because hiker family and that love you have for your fellow hiker is really powerful. It's wonderful and fulfilling, and it's really fluffy shit, I know, but it's oh so true. Well, that was all, folks. Here are 4 ways that you could unexpectedly be inflicted while doing the thru hike and how it might deepen, change, or develop your own life. Tramping a long trail is about self-development. It's about appreciation. It's about humanity, faith, and an emotional roller coaster. That emotional roller coaster it truly is. Not just slogging 58 Ks and being a robot about it. As I said, folks, a lot of people don't express what a thru hike means to them and things you can expect. They talk about the gear. I'm all about everything that encompasses a thru hike, including the gear, not just the thru hike itself. So people don't have to be robotic about it. I'm being totally open, as I usually do on my channel. Now, this video was a difficult video for me to shoot. As I've mentioned, a lot of people don't mention the emotional connections or spiritual rechargement or the bondships of hiking family. No one talks about that. People know of it when they're doing research of a thru hike, but people don't know what they can experience or expect. Now, what you can expect is a spiritual recharging, emotional reawakening. You could experience the bondships of thru hiking family. These are some of the things you can experience, and having those expectations in mind is a good way to do a research of a thru hike or planning to do a thru hike. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Ka kite anō, blessed trails, and this is Bushman signing off.